Yo, what's going on, fellas? It's that time of the month again. My favorite time of the month, your favorite time of the month, because we all eat. So chapter 11 of Boruto TBV VORTEX just released, and yet again, proved why Boruto is still the best new gen manga out right now. I didn't drop my usual spoilers video this month, and that's just because the spoilers literally dropped yesterday, a day before the official chapter came out. So I just decided to go all in on the chapter review. But if the spoilers drop a little earlier next month, then I'll for sure make a video on it. So now that we got all that settled, I'm not gonna hold us up any longer. Let's hop right into the video. So the chapter starts off with Jura and Himawari standing off against each other. All her previous injuries and ailments are healed because of the Nine-Tails chakra. Shikadai questions how she is still able to stand because Jura just completely broken her leg a few moments ago. Fast forward a page and we see Himawari completely heal Inojin's gaping wound with her Nine-Tails chakra, saving his life. This is something I already knew would happen. We just seen it too many times at this point for it to be any different now. I never bought into the idea that Inojin was going to die from this. You can even go back to my chapter 10 review video. The Nine-Tails healing power saved Naruto from much worse injuries throughout the entire series, so Inojin was never in any serious danger. Hima told Shikadai and Chocho to leave the surrounding area because she knew the fight was going to get crazy, and Himawari was his only target. So it'd be no reason for them to pointlessly waste their lives on someone that's obviously way too strong for either of them. So through much arguing and contemplating, they leave with Inojin's unconscious body. And now it's time for Jura and Himawari to finally hash things out. Can I just take a moment to comment on how much aura Himawari has in this panel? It's not even the look, but it's her whole demeanor, the confidence she has, the way she carries herself now compared to last chapter. The difference is night and day. She definitely believes she has a chance now. She says it's her responsibility to use her new power to take down Jura, because that's what her father and big brothers would do. Himawari and Jura starts fighting, and instantly we can see just how strong Himawari has gotten. She was not only able to send Jura flying with one punch, but also go blow for blow against Jura's BIJUU bomb. As far as visuals and paneling goes, this is probably the best we've seen yet. This is also probably one of the more longer one-on-one fights as well. Jura went on to praise Himawari for her rapid evolution. Being able to fire a BIJUU bomb at this level is really impressive. They told us about Himawari's potential as the Nine-Tails host, and so far she's been exceeding expectations, especially for her first time using Kurama's power. Naruto couldn't use BIJUU bombs until he had at least 4 tails. So I've been wondering if she can acquire the same level of power using much less of Kurama's chakra. If that's the case, it probably means she has a very high chance of surpassing Naruto with way less effort. And it's all because of what Kurama told us earlier. His and Himawari's chakra has a high affinity to each other, much higher than any of her predecessors. But unfortunately, potential isn't going to win her this fight. This whole time, Jura wasn't even coming close to fighting Himawari seriously, as we all might have guessed. Even though Himawari just awakened a power that will eventually help her protect herself and her friends and family against foes just as strong or nearly as strong as Jura, it wouldn't make sense for her to outscale Jura enough to beat him. Not quite yet. So once Himawari intrigued Jura enough to make him go all out, she didn't land another hit on him. He completely destroyed her without hesitation, and it's looking like Himawari is on the brink of being devoured if she doesn't get help soon. Flipping forward, we have a much more balanced fight on our hands with Sarada, Sumari, and KONOHAMARU facing off with Hidari. Hidari just completely healed from Sarada's Chidori she landed on him earlier like it was nothing. They try to question Hidari, but it leads nowhere because he doesn't even know the origins of his own self. He didn't even know the name of the technique he used to attack Sarada, nor did he know he needs the Sharingan to make it work properly. So that right there could be a little foreshadowing for Hidari. Potentially him learning more about Sasuke and what happened to him for him to exist and his purpose for existence. Also, him learning more about Sarada and her Sharingan could mean something for him in his evolution process moving forward as well. After they finish interrogating Hidari, Sumari tells everyone to protect Sarada because Hidari is most likely targeting her. It wasn't long until he started attacking Sarada again. It appears everyone is having a lot of trouble with the claw marks. They keep getting caught off guard again and again and again. But this time, Hidari hits Sarada with Chidori from behind, or what appears to be Chidori, putting her out of the fight for a while. Now that Sarada is out of the fight, it's basically over. Nobody else has the capability to actually injure Hidari. I mean, besides Konohamaru, but he doesn't have the necessary physical attributes to even come close to hitting Hidari with a RASENGAN. And even if he does, he'll just regenerate himself. So it looks like it's all for naught. Albeit, Konohamaru did display an impressive new technique against Hidari though. It's a new technique called VORTEX barrier. It looks like to be a wall of wind that protects him against oncoming attacks and projectiles. It's pretty useful because it honestly saved his life. Without that technique, he would have definitely been unalived. And the level of defense that technique outputs is also impressive. It blocked the Chidori from one of the Shinju. I know it's coming from Konohamaru and everything, but that's still a cool little feat and it shouldn't go unnoticed. But the impact still caused him to be blown back and still injured a bit. That just goes to show how powerful that attack is being used by Hidari. And it was at point blank range too. Both situations are honestly looking really bleak. Nobody is left to fight Hidari, and Himawari can't even fight anymore. So it's looking like without anyone intervening, Jura and Hidari will accomplish what they came to Konoha to do, and that's to devour Sarada and Himawari. And just like many people tried to tell me to give Sumire a chance, or I was downplaying her, I want to see where those people are at now. Like I said, there's nothing she can do in this situation. She wasn't going to get into the mix of the fight. She's physically useless in situations like these. For her to be of use, she would have to find another way to help that doesn't involve combat or very little combat. So with Sumire and Sarada unable to move anymore, we transition back to Jura and Himawari again. Jura gives us a hint of Himawari's true potential. He states that her recovery prowess is astounding, more than any human or BIJUU. It's almost like her whole existence is that of a BIJUU, which if you've been following my videos, I did mention many times about her. Her relationship to the tailed beast is closer than you can ever imagine. It's to the point where I genuinely believe she doesn't even have a regular chakra network. The chakra that runs through her veins is nothing but BIJUU chakra. Like Naruto, who aside from Kurama's chakra had his own chakra as well, Himawari either has nothing but Kurama's chakra, or maybe both of their chakras fuse to create an entirely different type of chakra. A type of chakra never thought to even exist, which goes further into why she had so much potential as the Nine Tails host in the first place. But aside from that, Himawari and Sarada both played as the strongest fighter for both parties, and now they're both incapable to fight anymore. Fast forward a page and it's Kawaki and Delta flying to Himawari's location to help her out. And Delta asks Kawaki what we all been wondering from the very beginning. What does he plan to do against foes that previously he couldn't do anything against? Basically saying he doesn't have a plan and he's rushing to his death. And she's completely right. But then suddenly they see Boruto fly past them in a hurry. He not only saved Himawari from getting devoured, but he also used Flying Raijin to teleport to the square Kashinkoji's toad was holding to save Sarada from getting devoured as well. The fan translation says it's a triangle, but it's most definitely a square. They're not about to sit up here and tell me that's a triangle. I know my shapes. So when the official translations come out, it'll most definitely say square. I'm gonna use the correct panel which says square, as you can see on the screen right here. I know this is insignificant, but I just thought I needed to say that. But moving on, I kind of underestimated Boruto. Previously, I only gave him the choice of either saving Himawari or Sarada, but it looks like he was able to save both, and with very clutch timing too. And it really all has to do with Flying Raijin being such an amazing technique. That's why I always say it's the perfect technique for Boruto, even if his variant of the Flying Raijin isn't as good as Minato's. If you didn't know, the only handicap Boruto seems to have with the Flying Raijin is his inability to mark living people like Minato. Right now, he can only mark non-living objects, like those different shaped things that Kashinkoji's toads be holding, or Boruto's sword. As time goes on, I assume he'll master the Flying Raijin to the point where he's able to mark other people with seals. But as far as it goes for right now, only non-living objects is his limit. But after using Flying Raijin, Boruto saves Sarada from being devoured by slicing clean through Hidari's transformed limb, similar to how Sasuke did to Kawaki when he tried to attack Amato. Boruto just keeps on impressing. I was wrong to just assume he can only save one person, especially with his newfound abilities. I'm gonna take full accountability on that little mistake. This guy is just amazing, a true MC, and I'm not even trying to glaze. At this point, it looks like Boruto is just an entire step, or two, or three, ahead of everyone else in Konoha. And after seeing this, I'm more than enough convinced of that. As the chapter ends, we are confronted by a Boruto standoff against Hidari, and Jura most likely soon to come. Next chapter is about to get insane. This chapter was mainly about finishing up the Himawari focused part of the Shinju invasion, and now we're about to transition back to a Boruto focused story as he gets ready to face off against potentially 2 of the Shinju, of course with Sarada at his side. We'll see exactly what these two can do, completely locked in and going all out. I'm still a little upset that I have to wait a whole nother month to see it, but at the end of the day, it just builds up and keeps the hype alive. The more hype, the more the series grows in popularity, and the more us Boruto content creators eats. So before I end the video, I need to know how excited y'all are for potentially the best fight in Tubular Vortex, far surpassing Boruto vs. Code. And let me know if you think Kawaki could possibly join in later on as well. And we can't forget Mitsuki, Ada, and Damon. Perhaps we see an entire Team 7 reunion soon. Only time can tell. But anyway, if you like this video, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss another video like this in the near future. And don't forget to rate chapter 11 1 through 10. I need to know what you guys think about it. But without further ado, until my next one, and I'm out. Peace.